All right, guys, it's that time. It's Prove It for Alex Caruso. What do we want to see Alex accomplish this season? Could it be a certain stat? Could be an element to his game. We need to see what from Mr. Caruso. Big Dave, what do you got?
I'd like to see Alex Caruso become a more consistent threat at the three-point line.
Okay.
I think that will go a long way for the Chicago Bulls, as we keep saying they need three-point shooting and they need it bad. And Caruso is going to be a guy who's going to play 29, 32 minutes. Like, it's just what he's going to be. He's going to do that on the floor. We know what he's going to bring as far as the energy is concerned, on the defensive end. He's going to do that. We know what he's going to do in transition. What we're going to need is him to knock down those threes, and they're going to be open. He's going to get those open looks.
Did have a couple open looks last night.
Yes. I need him to knock those down on a consistent level. Now, I'm not asking for him to be that 39% shooter or anything like that. He gives me something like a 35 or a 36. I would be completely happy with Alex Caruso. So I would like that to be his prove it for this season, is get that more consistent three-point shooting.
Okay, so what do you want to call it? If you're going to set a number, you're going to, okay, 36. So 36%
three-point shooter for Alex Caruso.
Shout out to Adam in the comments who said, hit the like button so Peck can get some new foot prisons for this winter. So I have them. They're sitting in my closet right now. I just don't want to wear them. Me, just a catalyst. I figured it was warm because Peck's feet are distracting me. I'm sorry.
Peck's feet are distracting.
By that, I mean, I'm not sorry at all.
It's not sorry at all. It's not sorry at all.
But in case you missed it, I can't remember if it was during pregame or postgame last night. I did tell the people that I made a word, or I made a promise, rather.
Okay.
October 19th, regular season starts. I'll put the Burks away. You know you love them. You know you love them, Lawrence.
Well, y'all really bothered by the Burks? Y'all couldn't be that bothered by the Burks, man.
Okay, so Colin in the comments said all I need from AC is 65 plus regular season games and 28 plus minutes in every playoff game.
Okay.
Colin, have you hacked me? Do you have my notes for these episodes? Because Big Dave, what does it say there under Peck's Prove It for Alex Caruso?
Let's go right here for Alex Caruso. Peck says play 65 plus games at 28 plus minutes per game. Yeah.
What?
Didn't this happen to you
creepy.
Before? Didn't this happen to you before?
Yeah. I can't remember what about, but
what about? Yeah.
Dude, Colin, you're freaking me out, man.
Freaking me out, man.
Mine was not about necessarily the specificity he put on playoff games, playing 28 plus of playoff games.
Right.
And look, I think it's perfectly reasonable to expect if Alex played 28 minutes per game last season, which was a big jump from any season prior to arriving in Chicago, he can and should do that again this season.
Yes.
The Bulls need his defense. They need his vocal leadership.
Very much so.
And as we just described and laid out to you in that film session, he also offers them certain things on offense that they desperately need.
Yeah.
So it's durability for me. That's what it comes down to with Alex. You talk about the foul trouble being an issue.
Yeah.
Some of the things that we heard Alex talk about and Billy talk about in the offseason as far as, what's on people's to-do list, how can people get better? Caruso made a point to talk about his own durability, saying, the way that I play defense and the way that I play my level of physicality, he was working on strengthening his body this offseason so that he can be out there for his team more. 65 is asking kind of a lot, but in an 82-game season, that still gives you 17 games to miss for this, a scratch here, a nick there.
Basically, what you're asking for is like no major injuries.
Yeah.
And because you might say, well, it's not his fault that Grayson Allen is a piece of shit that broke his wrist and caused him to miss a lot of games last year.
Fact.
But that wasn't the only injury that caused Caruso. Like, he had the back problems towards the end of the season. I think he missed a handful of games before the wrist for a different nagging injury he had. He's got to stay healthy because this Bulls team needs him.
Yeah, and I believe the most games he's ever played is 64.
Right.
So just wanting him to get to 65 plus, that's right. Because you're definitely going to need him, especially with Lonzo not being there. That's going to be very, very key, man. So, yeah, we just need him to stay healthy and be consistent. That's it. It's great. He can do it. You can do it, Alex. We believe in you, man. We believe.
And it is worth noting that the most minutes per game he averaged in any of his seasons with the Lakers prior to coming to the Bulls was 21. So he had a 7 minutes per game jump to get to 28 last season. So if you want to keep it there and play at least 70 or 65 games, durability will be key for Alex, because you need him playing at that tenacious level. That's what makes him good. That's what makes him valuable in the NBA. But how do you do that with the minutes that you played last season while not missing nearly as many games as you missed last season?
I like the way you put that, sir. Very well done. Very well done.
GOAT.
I think you guys hit on the two most important ones.
Oh,
he needs to shoot. He needs to shoot a lot, and he needs to shoot better. The wrist injury, I think his splits pre and post were like 35% and then down to 31 after he came back. Clearly, I think was hampered by that. And then in the playoffs, the back injury was an issue. So that leads me to the durability factor as well. The one other area that I think he could stand to improve in is, as you mentioned, Dave, with the foul trouble. The way that he plays is conducive to fouling. He is very active in passing lanes. He's very aggressive getting into guys' space. It's hard to get as many steals as he does without being really aggressive. So if there's a way to reduce his personal foul rate to, let's say last year he had averaged 2.6 fouls per game. If you could get that number down to 2 while still keeping his steals at 1.5, 1.7 where he was last year, I think that puts him in an amazing position to not only be like the most disruptive player that he can be, not only because he's creating transition points through getting steals, but he's also not allowing other teams to get to the free throw line and giving them easy points there. I think it's also keeping him out of trouble as far as putting his body on the line and getting injured. So I think the way that he plays aggressively, if he can sort of strike that line between maintaining his aggressive play style without getting into foul trouble, I think that will help his durability. I think it will help the Bulls not give up easier points. I think 2 fouls per game would be a fantastic number for him.
Wow. Incredible number for him, man. Seriously.
Just to put it in context, because we did mention the significant bump in minutes last season for Alex, his per 36 fouls have always been floating between 3 and 4 his whole career. 3.3, 3.7, 3.0, 3.2, and then 3.3 last season.
So this is asking for him to improve on that. It's not saying keep doing what you're doing. I'm saying be better.
Yeah, I like that. And to his credit, that steal percentage of his was a career best 3.0 last year. So there it is. There are the goals that we have set for Alex Caruso this season. Shout out to Colin for being super creepy and knowing exactly what mine were going to be.
Shout out Colin.
And Big Dave, your goal for Caruso is the goal that I set for Vooch. Really? Shoot 36% from downtown. And our guy Will saying, just, be a little bit better about committing those fouls, because the Bulls can't afford to have Caruso in foul trouble every other night.
They can't afford to have an injury.
Really cannot.
Can't afford that foul trouble, man. Can't afford it. Can't do it.